Ladies and gentlemen, innovation is the heartbeat of progress, the silent force that drives nations forward into a future filled with possibilities. When we talk about India's first air defense system export taking off, we are witnessing a moment that is more than a transaction. It is a profound shift. This is not merely an industrial or commercial milestone. It is a testament to India's capacity to innovate under pressure, to craft world-class technology, and to inspire new waves of confidence across the nation. Innovation is never easy. It requires daring, sacrifice, and a commitment to excellence that cannot be shaken. Think of the teams of brilliant engineers, defense experts, and visionaries who spent years pushing the limits of their knowledge and skill to make this dream a reality. Every blueprint, every prototype, every late-night testing session was fueled by an unyielding belief that India could do more than just follow, it could lead. It's that spirit of innovation, that boldness to create, that shines through in this historic export. And it reminds all of us that the most powerful breakthroughs come from hearts and minds that dare to see beyond what is, to what could be. This innovation is also an answer to those who doubted. There was a time when India was seen only as an importer of advanced defense technology. But that story is changing because of innovation. India is now becoming a source of cutting-edge solutions for other nations. That change did not happen by chance. It happened because people decided to believe in their capacity to invent and innovate at the highest level. They spoke their ambitions into existence, committing to the process one day at a time. And today, those words have become action. That is what innovation looks like. It is the power to take a dream and make it tangible. More than that, this innovation carries the weight of hope. Hope that a nation can rise by investing in its own talent. Hope that India can offer solutions that protect not just itself, but also other countries who trust its expertise. And most importantly, hope for the youth who see this milestone and realize they too can be part of this story. Every aspiring scientist, every student in a remote village who hears about this export will recognize that they belong to a nation that is making waves on the world stage. And none of this is possible without faith. Faith that speaks the word, that looks at the impossible and declares it possible. Speak the word, Lord, becomes not only a prayer for divine guidance, but also a call to trust the process of innovation. To trust that each failure is an invitation to try again, that every setback is preparing you for a comeback. The teams that created this system carried that kind of resilience in their hearts. They knew they were called to do something bigger than themselves. That's why they kept going, fueled by a purpose that was greater than profit or recognition. It was to show that India can dream boldly and deliver. And so, when you see that first shipment take off, don't just see hardware and technology. See a story of grit and creativity. See a promise kept to future generations that India will never stop pushing the boundaries of innovation. See a people uniting around the belief that when they put their minds together and speak their dreams into existence, they can accomplish anything. Let this inspire you too. Wherever you are, whatever you do, let this moment encourage you to embrace your own spirit of innovation. Stand firm, believe fully, and never stop creating. Speak the word, Lord, over your own aspirations and watch as they take flight. Resilience is at the very core of India's story, especially when we look at this historic milestone where its first air defense system export takes off. This moment is more than just a commercial success. It is the culmination of years of perseverance, grit, and unwavering determination. Resilience is what enabled a nation to rise above skepticism, to overcome technological hurdles, and to transform its defense ambitions into reality. Every part of this achievement bears the imprint of a resilient spirit that refused to quit even when the odds seemed stacked high. When we talk about resilience, we must understand that it is not about avoiding challenges, but about meeting them head-on with faith and patience. This defense systems journey began long before it took flight on an international shipment. It began in quiet labs where dedicated engineers and defense researchers spent countless hours pushing the boundaries of what was possible. There were failed tests, critical delays, and international scrutiny. But they refused to give up. Instead, they chose to adapt, innovate, and grow stronger with every setback. That is resilience in its purest form, the unyielding belief that a better outcome is just one more effort away. And resilience is not confined to laboratories or factories. It is stitched into the very fabric of a nation that has faced hardships and emerged with its head held high. India's journey toward self-reliance in defense manufacturing has been long, marked by international embargoes, changing geopolitical dynamics, and a constant demand to prove itself. But resilience was the steady flame that kept burning. Even when others doubted its capability, India chose to trust its own vision and talent. It invested in research and development, cultivated its scientists, and built a system that was not only functional, but also globally competitive. This export is proof that resilience pays off, that what the world may overlook today, it cannot ignore tomorrow. More importantly, resilience is what empowers future generations. When a young student looks at the success of this air defense export, they are witnessing a powerful message that persistence, patience, and steadfast belief can overcome even the most formidable barriers. They are seeing a blueprint for their own aspirations, one that tells them to never quit when they face their own battles. This moment gives them permission to dream, to innovate, and to persevere because they have seen what resilience can achieve. And it is no coincidence that this achievement is also an answer to a deeper prayer, a prayer that was spoken over this nation long ago. Speak the word, Lord. This is the cry that transforms trials into testimonies. When the people involved in this project kept their faith alive through every challenge, they were, in their own way, declaring that they trusted a greater power to make a way where there was none. Divine guidance met human resilience, and together they created something extraordinary. That is why this export is more than just a business deal. It is a triumph of endurance and belief. It tells us that when we refuse to quit, when we lean into our faith and persist against all odds, we can surpass every limitation. And so, let this story of resilience encourage you to stand strong in your own life. Whether you face personal hardships, professional struggles, or doubts about your future, remember that resilience is the seed that grows into triumph. Speak the word over your circumstances. Embrace the instant power of divine guidance, and let resilience shape your path. Every step you take with purpose and faith is leading you to your own breakthrough. Let this be a call to action, to persevere with courage, trust the process, and rise again no matter how steep the climb. National pride is more than just an emotion. It's a profound sense of belonging, unity, and purpose that rises when a nation achieves something extraordinary. India's first successful export of its indigenous air defense system is a shining example of that kind of national pride. It's not just a transaction. It's a testament to what a nation can do when it trusts its own abilities, invests in its own talent, and stays committed to its long-term goals. This proud moment is not just about hardware. It's about heart, the heart of every Indian who dreamed of seeing their nation rise to new heights. Every successful innovation, every signed international deal, carries the sweat and determination of countless scientists, engineers, technicians, and workers who refused to give up when things were difficult. There were times when critics doubted India could compete on the global defense stage. There were moments of uncertainty and even failure along the way. But that is what makes this moment so powerful. It was built on unwavering commitment, on the belief that India is capable of making world-class technology for itself and for others. That spirit is what fuels our pride. When we look at this achievement, we realize that it wasn't built overnight. It took decades of careful strategy, sustained investments in research and development, and a national will to make self self-reliance a reality. It's a reflection of what happens when a nation aligns its energy toward a single vision, a future where India is known as a trusted, formidable partner in advanced defense exports. This is what pride looks like, not empty boasting, but quiet, dignified strength that comes from knowing we earned this moment. And this sense of national pride doesn't stop at borders. It reminds every Indian that when we believe in ourselves, we can inspire the world. Our youth can look up to this moment and say, if our nation can do this, so can I. Farmers in villages can feel connected to this success, knowing that the power and security we export abroad also strengthens home. Parents can encourage their children to chase bigger dreams. Teachers can use this as a lesson in perseverance and commitment to the greater good. Every Indian can take this story as proof that success is not luck, it is the product of disciplined action, faith, and unity. This is also a moment to speak the word into our future. Speak the word, Lord, reminds us that we are guided and sustained by a higher power who calls us to rise above fear and limitation. Every achievement like this air defense export becomes a healing reminder that nothing is impossible when we are united in purpose and steeped in faith. Our Creator equips us with the wisdom, strength, and courage to face the giants of today, just as He led our forebears through the trials of yesterday. So let this accomplishment ignite a deeper sense of pride that doesn't merely celebrate the past, but also propels us into the future. Let it inspire us to grow in every sphere economically, scientifically, socially, and spiritually. Let it encourage every Indian to recognize their role in the larger story of this great nation. Let this be a call to action to nurture talent, embrace innovation, and most of all, stay grounded in the belief that with faith, resilience, and unity, India can continue to write its own destiny on the world stage. The air defense system export is not just hardware, it is the heartbeat of a proud, hopeful, and unstoppable India. Defense exports are more than just shipments of military equipment. They are a powerful symbol of a nation's emergence as a global player. India's first air defense system export, taking off, is a testament to the incredible progress the country has made in becoming self-reliant and competitive in one of the most complex and high-tech sectors in the world. This moment speaks to the years of focused effort, innovation, and discipline that have transformed India from an importer of advanced technology into a confident, respected exporter. There was a time when most of India's defense needs were met by foreign suppliers. Every procurement was a reminder of our dependency on others and a subtle limitation on our strategic choices. But today, with this first successful export of an indigenous air defense system, we have shattered that limitation. This isn't just a business transaction, it is a demonstration of India's capacity to design, manufacture, and deliver world-class equipment that meets the most stringent international standards. Defense exports also send a strong message about the maturity of India's industrial and technological base. Behind every radar, every launcher, every guidance system that goes into this air defense package lies an army of scientists, engineers, skilled technicians, and project managers who have dedicated years of their lives to perfecting their craft. These professionals believed in the nation's ability to compete with the best, and they never gave up even when faced with failures, delays, or skepticism. They spoke the word into their work, that this country would rise to its rightful place among the most capable defense exporters in the world. It's this deep-seated belief that powered them to keep going. And this export success has a ripple effect that will grow stronger with time. Every sale of Indian defense equipment increases the world's trust in our capabilities. Every satisfied client becomes a partner in our progress. Every transaction brings new investments into Indian factories and research labs, generating jobs and new opportunities for future generations. Defense exports will also bolster diplomatic relationships, opening doors for India to play a larger role on the global stage as a provider of security, not just a consumer of it. But more than the economics and diplomacy, this moment is an affirmation of self-belief. It says to every young person studying engineering or dreaming of working in the defense sector, your work matters, your skill is world class, your future is limitless. It tells every entrepreneur, every policy maker, every military strategist that India is no longer bound by the past, that it is fully capable of meeting its own security needs and then stepping up to serve others too. And there is something profoundly spiritual about this milestone as well. It's a reminder that resilience, faith, and hard work can take a dream that once seemed impossible and turn it into a tangible reality. Speak the word into every corner of your life, that progress is always possible, that every challenge can become a stepping stone, and that this is only the beginning. India's first air defense system export is a symbol of a much greater story, one of a nation claiming its power with humility and using it to build a more hopeful and secure world. Let this inspire you to grow, to believe, and to act, knowing that with determination and faith, there are no limits to what we can achieve. Self-reliance is one of the most powerful ideas behind India's first air defense system export. It speaks to a long, determined journey where India decided to take its security into its own hands and reduce its dependency on foreign powers for critical defense technologies. For decades, India was one of the world's largest importers of military hardware. Every missile, every radar, every launcher that had to be purchased from outside was a reminder that true sovereignty requires mastery over one's own technological and industrial destiny. That is exactly what self-reliance aims to change, and the export of an indigenous air defense system is proof that this change is already happening. The air defense system is not just a weapon, it is a statement of self-belief. It represents years of research and development carried out in Indian laboratories, years of rigorous testing across harsh climates, and years of perfecting every small detail so that the final product is on par with the very best in the world. Scientists and engineers working for Indian defense companies and research organizations didn't just want to match international standards, they set their sights on exceeding them. Every successful trial was powered by a sense of purpose and a commitment to becoming a nation that doesn't wait for help, but takes the lead. Self-reliance also means developing the capability to face new and unknown threats with confidence. In a rapidly changing global security environment, countries cannot simply wait for others to come to their aid. They must innovate, create, and adapt continuously. That is exactly what India is doing by producing world-class defense technologies. This is a proactive vision for a future where India is the one supplying advanced systems to partner nations, rather than relying on them for its own security. Every export deal reinforces this self-reliant identity. And let's not overlook the emotional and psychological strength that self-reliance brings. When a nation knows it can defend itself with its own technology, its own expertise, it walks taller on the global stage. This mindset permeates society as well. It tells every Indian that their talent, their skills, and their hard work can match and surpass anything that comes from abroad. Self-reliance becomes a culture where innovation thrives in every field from defense to healthcare to space exploration. The ripple effects are profound. Our defense industries will grow, creating high-skilled jobs and boosting regional economies. Our research and educational institutions will attract bright minds who want to work at the cutting edge. Every one of these people will know that they are part of a larger story, that of a nation finally becoming its own greatest resource. This is the heart of self-reliance, a belief that progress begins at home and that every obstacle can be met with creativity and resilience. And at a deeper level, self-reliance reminds us that we can trust in our own strength. Speak the word into your own life as you reflect on this achievement. What dreams have you left in someone else's hands? What parts of your life are you outsourcing when they could be powered by your own skill, your own faith, your own drive? This is the call to action that self-reliance offers us all. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission to grow. Don't wait for someone else to make you feel secure. Decide that you are capable, that you have been equipped for this very moment. As India exports its first air defense system, let it be a reminder that the real power lies in your hands. Trust your capacity to rise, your capacity to innovate, and your capacity to lead. Speak the word into every part of your journey and step into a future built by your own determination. That is the true essence of self-reliance, and it is what will continue to propel this nation and you to greater heights. Technological advancement is at the very heart of India's first air defense system export taking off. It symbolizes a new chapter in the story of a nation that has invested tirelessly in its scientific capabilities, research institutions, and indigenous innovation. For years, India looked to the world for advanced defense hardware to secure its skies. But now the tide is turning. That transformation didn't happen by accident. It was built on decades of perseverance from the halls of the Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO to the engineering workshops and production lines across the nation. Every component of this air defense system is a testament to how Indian scientists and engineers have taken on some of the most complex challenges in aerospace and military engineering. Creating a state-of-the-art air defense system requires mastery over radar tracking, guided missiles, advanced sensors, and real-time decision-making software. To develop these technologies indigenously is an achievement in itself. To export them and have other countries put their trust in Indian expertise is a powerful milestone. It reflects a coming of age where India is no longer simply an importer of technology, but a competitive player that can innovate and lead on the global stage. This technological advancement is more than a symbol, it is a practical capability that empowers India strategically and economically. It allows the nation to produce solutions tailored to its specific defense requirements rather than relying on expensive foreign purchases. It also enhances the skill set of its workforce and opens up new avenues for collaboration with partner countries who recognize the value India offers. Every successful export order will encourage further innovation at home, creating a virtuous cycle where research fuels new designs. And these designs attract even more interest globally. Behind this success lies an army of dedicated scientists who spent long hours in laboratories, testing and retesting every prototype until it met the highest standards of precision and performance. The pursuit of excellence took discipline, creativity, and an unyielding belief in India's potential to master the most challenging domains of modern warfare. This is technological advancement powered by a deeper sense of purpose, knowing that every breakthrough enhances the safety and sovereignty of the nation, and this spirit extends beyond defense. When technological advancement becomes a habit across one sector, it often spreads into other parts of society, into communications, education, healthcare, and energy. The message is simple: innovation is never limited to one industry. Every technological leap taken by Indian minds builds the confidence that we can excel in any field. It reinforces the belief that, with focus and faith, we can embrace the most advanced ideas and make them our own. As India celebrates this milestone, it also speaks to every individual who wonders what is possible. Let this serve as a reminder that progress begins with commitment, that reaching for mastery requires resilience, discipline, and trust in the process, even when the goal feels distant. Speak the word into your life as you look at this triumph. Declare that you are capable of learning, adapting, and becoming the very best version of yourself. Every new skill you master, every bit of knowledge you embrace, is a step toward making the impossible feel natural. The story of India's first air defense system export is proof that when we believe in our capacity to grow, to innovate, and to persevere, nothing is beyond our reach. Let it inspire you to take bold action in your own life, knowing that real technological advancement, real personal advancement, is the product of vision, effort, and unshakable faith. The global impact of India's first air defense system export is profound. It speaks to a nation that is no longer simply on the sidelines, consuming advanced technology, but one that has emerged as a serious player in the international defense arena. This is more than a business transaction. It is a sign that the world is looking at India differently as a credible partner with the capability to design, manufacture, and deliver some of the most complex defense systems on the planet. When a country places its trust in Indian defense exports, it validates the skill, intelligence, and integrity of India's engineering and defense sectors. This changes the way India is perceived globally. Nations recognize that India is investing deeply in indigenous research and is committed to creating technologies that not only meet international standards but often surpass them. Every successful delivery of an Indian-made air defense system lays the groundwork for further exports across land, sea, and air domains. It tells the world that India is ready to share its expertise to help other countries bolster their security. And this impact doesn't end at diplomacy or economics. It ripples into India's strategic posture. Being a successful defense exporter enhances India's diplomatic leverage and its voice in international security forums. It also reduces dependency on foreign suppliers and, importantly, strengthens India's partnerships across continents. Every deal of this kind becomes a bridge between cultures and economies, a practical demonstration of goodwill and shared purpose. There is also an inspirational impact here. Many countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America often look for partners who offer more than hardware. They want affordable, reliable solutions tailored to their needs, and India is perfectly placed to provide that. By entering this arena, India reshapes the global market dynamic, encouraging fair competition and presenting a welcome alternative to countries who often face high costs or political restrictions when they import defense technology from traditional superpowers. That is why this moment matters. Beyond trade, beyond prestige, this achievement expands the reach of India's technological spirit. It's a clear signal that creativity and innovation can flourish anywhere and that knowledge knows no boundaries. Whether you're a policymaker watching from abroad or an entrepreneur with a dream, this story reminds you that success is built on years of investment, resilience, and an unyielding commitment to excellence. It proves that India, like any visionary nation, can master its own destiny, and there's a spiritual layer to this as well. It is a reminder that when we embrace faith and speak bold words over our futures, declaring that we will rise, innovate, and thrive, those words take on a power of their own. They inspire action, energize our ambitions, and give us the endurance to navigate every obstacle. Every time someone doubted India's capacity to achieve this milestone, India answered by putting in the work. Every setback was a setup for a comeback. That same process is available to anyone who believes deeply enough. As we celebrate the global impact of this milestone, let this also challenge you personally. Wherever you are, look at what you can build, grow, or improve. Trust that your best days of creation and contribution are still ahead. Speak over your life with boldness and faith. Develop the discipline to work at your craft, grow in your knowledge, and dare to share your skills with the world. The world responds when we embrace our purpose with excellence and conviction. That is the true global impact, not just the systems we export, but the inspiration we spark in every soul that dreams of making a difference. Strategic growth is at the very heart of India's first successful air defense system export. This moment is not simply a sale. It is a bold and deliberate move that reveals India's commitment to expanding its capabilities across defense, technology, and global influence. Strategic growth is all about long-term vision, knowing where you want to go, and then creating the steps, processes, and partnerships to get there. That is exactly what India has been doing for years, carefully cultivating its indigenous defense industry, investing in research and innovation, and gradually positioning itself as a serious player on the international stage. Every part of this growth is strategic. From developing a highly skilled workforce and bringing together some of the brightest scientific and engineering minds, to creating advanced defense systems that can compete with those produced by long established powers, this growth is not accidental. It is the result of focus, discipline, and an unshakable belief that India can stand as a powerhouse. Strategic growth also means learning from past limitations and transforming them into strengths. India recognized its need to reduce dependency on foreign imports, and that need became the fuel for indigenous innovation. Today, the country is not just self-reliant, but is also sharing its expertise with others. This is what real growth looks like: sustainable, long-term, and empowering. More importantly, strategic growth is about seeing beyond the present moment. Selling one air defense system is significant, yes, but this is just the beginning of a broader, much larger path. It lays the foundation for future exports, stronger alliances, and deeper trust with other nations who will look to India as a dependable partner in their security. Every successful export paves the way for more contracts and opportunities, creating an upward spiral of credibility and capacity that expands with each achievement. There is also a profound personal lesson in this. Strategic growth applies to all of us individually. Just as India created a roadmap for its future, we must take time to craft our own paths with intention and faith. Strategic growth means making decisions that may seem small today, learning a new skill, starting a new practice, investing in yourself knowing they will compound into powerful results over time. It's about saying, I might not be where I want to be right now, but I'm going to put one brick in place at a time until my vision becomes reality. That same resilience that drives a nation can drive an individual soul toward its purpose. And at the center of all strategic growth is belief. Belief that God equips you for the journey. Belief that with patience and commitment, anything can be achieved. Speak those words over your own ambitions. I am growing. I am preparing. I am stepping into my future with faith. India did this for years before the world began to take notice. Every successful project was nurtured in the quiet, and every breakthrough was won by steady effort and unwavering trust in its mission. That is the power of strategic growth. It takes what seems impossible and makes it a tangible reality, one decision, one innovation, one export at a time, and the most encouraging part. The process is open to everyone who's willing to embrace it. Just as India stepped confidently into the global arena by preparing and believing, you too can grow strategically, moving toward your goals and creating a future that honors the work and the vision placed in your heart. Let this milestone inspire you to believe that, with the right strategy and steadfast faith, you can build something extraordinary,